climbing through that process. So.
Now, there have been a lot of controversial Supreme Court decisions over the last several years. You can choose from some of those, or you can go back much farther, let's say last decade. But what are some Supreme Court decisions that you think were wrongly decided and why?
Well, clearly we've had a couple lately that I think are important. The one that obviously upheld Obamacare, the recent one that redefined marriage at the federal level. I've never believed that the definition of marriage belongs at the federal level, and I do not believe that there's a constitutional amendment, that there's a constitutional right for two people of the same sex to get married. If the state wants to legalize that, that's if a state wants to legalize that, then they go to their legislature and do it. I'll be against it. And in Florida, we actually passed a constitutional amendment that defined marriage as one man and one woman, and it was, the Supreme Court basically overturned it with that decision. It basically ignored and wiped out the judgment of the people of Florida. But the one I always look at, because it goes to an issue that isn't even political. It goes to the most fundamental issue we'll ever talk about, life, and it's Roe versus Wade. And if you look at American politics today, there's a lot of debate about the issue of abortion and life, but really what we're just debating is restrictions on abortion. Because as long as Roe versus Wade is the law of this country via the decision, you can't ban abortion. You can restrict it, you can limit it under certain circumstances, but you can't ban it as long as it's the law of the land. I believe that that decision isn't just wrong morally, I believe that decision is wrong constitutionally. I do not believe that there's a constitutional right to what they've outlined, and is another example of how they manipulated the Constitution to reach a conclusion that they wanted.